Houston here, and for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. Now, for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, salute. And for my favorite patrons, always double salute. Now, today's video, we're actually going to be talking about the top no annual fee credit cards for bad credit, no credit check. Actually, these are credit cards that actually don't charge no annual fee, no foreign transaction fee, no late fee. That's the cards that we wanted to focus on. Now, the reason that we chose these cards because we want to transition from personal credit cards over into the business world. But before we do that, we need to build a foundation. So now, also with these here credit cards, these credit cards are all off of the FICO 9. The reason is because there's so many components that can help you build up your FICO 9, and I'll mention those throughout the video as well. Now, the first one is the PETAL and the PETAL 2, right? And so with these cards, of course, you've seen me talk about them before. But here's the thing about it. You don't have to worry about that annual fee. Now, a lot of you guys know about the Credit One cards or the Progressive cards and stuff like that. They're charging all these fees and stuff, right? And the thing about it, yeah, they'll give you an unsecured card, but that unsecured card going to have all these fees attached to it. So these cards are the ones you should be focusing on if you don't have no credit, or you're starting out with bad credit, or you're rebuilding your credit. These are the cards that you really should focus on. Now again, this here card, its focus is more on your cash flow instead of like your credit score. Granted, it pulls your FICO 9 Experian, but their main concern is how long you been on your job, what's your education like, how long you been at your residence, what's your disposable income, right? So your debt to income ratio, those are the things that give them the biggest factor in terms of helping you get approved for credit cards instead of just your credit score. Now, like I said, the cool part about it, this doesn't charge any annual fees. And then when you apply for the card, you're not going to get that inquiry on this card as well. So this is the PETAL 1 and the PETAL 2. The PETAL 1 going from $300 to $5,000, and then the PETAL 2 going from $300 up to $10,000. Now, here's another card. Now, if you're a college student and you say that you're a foreigner, or you just wanting to get a good high limit unsecured credit card and you're a college student, again, the Deserve card pulls Experian FICO 9, okay? You can get this card with no credit, or if you're a foreigner, you don't have to have a social, all right? So that's the cool part about it, but there's no annual fees, no foreign transaction fees. I think the limit goes up to $5,000. It reports to all 3 credit bureaus. It says that you must be a college student, but I think some people have been able to get this card even if they're not a college student, okay? The good thing about it, some of the perks is if you're a big Amazon Prime member or something, or you love Amazon or something like that, they give you an Amazon Prime account when you're spending after $500. Now, this card is distributed by Celtic Bank, okay? And again, that's very important. The reason is because you need to know what financial institutions are doing what. Now, again, these cards are no annual fees, no foreign transaction fees, and they're pretty easy to get as well. All right, so you're not focused on your FICO 8 like your traditional bank. Now, talk about the Apple Card. Again, this is a card that you guys want to at least get into the system, right? Because here's the thing. A lot of these cards that I'm showing you, again, pulling from your FICO 9, Apple pulls your TransUnion. You don't have to have a credit score, no annual fees. It goes from $250 and up, right? Reports to all 3 credit bureaus, and you get a credit line increase every 6 months. Now, here's the thing about it that I like about this card, Because a lot of people with lower credit scores say that you like average credit score is about a 620 to get this here car. It's given through Goldman Sachs. All right. Now here's the thing about it. Here's a technique that you possibly could do to help your credit score if you're below a 620. You can add an authorized user. You can have a rental payment added to your credit card. Added to your credit file. So that'll help boost up your credit score. You can go to like Grow Credit, Perch. You can add those type of account. If you use your debit card a lot, you want to check out the extra debit card to help boost up your FICO 9. Again, we want a back door. The reason you want to build up your back door on the FICO 9 and get as many credit cards that focus on the FICO 9 so that you can transition over to your FICO 8 scoring system, which then is a higher score because you built up the FICO 9 on the back end, right? And so what that means is that like when you're going to get a Chase card, a Bank of America card, a U.S. bank card, because you took the back door route to build up your FICO 9, those numbers transpire over to the FICO 8 score. So now you're in a better position to get higher limit credit cards from those banks as well. So that's the reason that I'm telling you and showing you guys to backdoor this thing so that you get the maximum amount of high limit credit cards with the FICO 8 score with the major banks. Now you have Upgrade, and of course we talked about them. The interesting thing about Upgrade, again, FICO 9, so no hard inquiry, no annual fees on the card and stuff like that. The thing about it goes from 500 up to 50,000. Now, because it can be issued as a Visa credit card, whatever you use can actually be turned into a personal loan, and you're paying it over time. So you don't accrue all of those interest and fees on that purchase that you made from the credit card itself. All right. Now, again, understanding that the minimum credit score is a 560. Okay. The average credit score is a 678. Now, here's another thing I'm gonna add to this information that's going to help you guys. One of the things I always tell you. Always include all the income in the household that you depend on. So if you have a spouse that's helping out with the bills, if you have a roommate, hint, hint, if you have a roommate that's helping pay the bills, the income that they're sharing with you to help minimize your DTI, your debt to income ratio. The good thing about Upgrade is that they accept people with a 75% debt to income ratio. Okay, so that's the thing about it. The more income you have, the more disposable income. So if you're retired and you still have a pension coming in, you still may have your pension coming in. You may have a 401k. You may have annuities coming in. If you're disabled, you may have a roommate that's helping pay the bills. Things of that nature, you have to, I would tell you, definitely include your income, added income on your application so you have a higher chance of not only being approved, but to be approved for a higher dollar amount. Adding to that, make sure, now this is something very important, I always tell you, make sure that in terms of the proportions, your income that you have coming in versus you having like maybe 15 to 20% that's going toward rent. Maximum 20%, okay? So that you all know that, hey, this is something that I should really master in order to get the higher limit credit cards, okay? Now, like I said, with these credit cards, it's going to be it's going to put you in a good position because you're building off of FICO 9. Now, I'm going to show you another card. The Jasper card, okay? The Jasper card, TransUnion, FICO 9, or they may even use your VantageScore. So if you have a VantageScore of a 640. Now, again, with the VantageScore and TransUnion, I would definitely tell you guys, here's what you need to know. since they're looking at a VantageScore 640, what you can do, you can log into American Express. They give you your Vantage 3 score. Okay, now American Express pulls your FICO 8, but they give you your Vantage 3 score. Even Capital One gives you a Vantage 3 score. As a matter of fact, I made a video showing you where to get your real FICO score from. Now, and that being said, back to this Vantage 3 scoring, if you don't know your Vantage 3 score, I know some people use Credit Karma, something like that. I would tell you to go to American Express or Capital One to use that scoring system, okay? Again, you don't have to be a member, and they give it to you, your VantageScore 3 for free, right? And that way you'll see what your actual Vantage score is. But your VantageScore TransUnion is what they're going to use to give you this Jasper card. Again, no annual fees, up to $5,000. It's reporting to all 3 credit bureaus. Web Bank is the bank that it's distributed through. Like I said, building up that FICO 9. FICO 9, you building it up, helping you also build up that Vantage score for a few of the cards. There's not a whole lot of cards out there that use Vantage score, okay? Adding to that, some of the credit unions, like Navy Federal. Navy Federal uses FICO 9, right? So if you have challenging credit or you're trying to get a higher credit limits, becoming a member of Navy Federal, and because they use using FICO 9, then I would definitely add that into my repertoire to be able to apply for higher limit credit cards, okay? So that you be able to transition again over from FICO 9 to FICO 8 to get higher limit credit cards. Now, here's one. If you're one of those people that really want to change the mode and know to secure more higher funding, then Disabled Secured Mastercard, all right? Now, the interesting thing about it is no credit check, no credit history, no social, no annual fees, no other fees. One of the good things about some of these cards is they don't even charge a late fee, okay? And that's very important, especially on Vantage 9. Because they don't charge a late fee, now you're able to work with them to make sure that you're getting your accounts paid on time. That's one of the things I always tell you, make sure you pay your accounts on time. Now, here's the thing about it. Granted, this is a secured card, but the good thing about it, after 4 months of good transactions and payments on time after 4 months, say that you put $5,000 on a card, it turns into a regular credit card, and then you have a $5,000 statement, okay? Now, you said, well, Houston, I don't have $5,000 to put on the card. Well, I'm going to show you some places that you can that don't trip off of your credit score. So you have CASHUSA personal loans. You may be able to get qualified from a $500 up to $10,000, but they're not tripping off of the credit score. They're focused more on how long you've been on the job, how long you've been at the residence, what's your debt to income ratio. Okay, so their platform, they have multiple lenders on there that can possibly help you get funding. Now here's another one, credit loans. Okay, I should have edited that, but with credit loans, again, it was another one of those ones that if you have bad credit, they'll loan you up to $5,000. Unfortunately, they don't operate in New York and Connecticut, but they have a 98% chance of approval. Okay, so that's the thing about it, being able to get a loan that's not concentrated on your credit score. And I should have edited this, but guys, the Equifax 5 score, don't worry about that with this here company, because they're not focused on a credit score. They're actually focused on how long you've been on the job, what's your debt to income ratio, how long you've been at your residence. Those are their main factors, okay? Now, taking the loans from there, say that you get a $5,000 loan. Since it's not affecting the credit, then taking that money and you can put it on the on that SABLE card, and then utilize that SABLE card, and then after 4 months, that SABLE card turns into a $5,000 credit card. Now you done built up your credit score so you can transition over to your FICO 8 and go after your American Express, your Bank of America, your Chase credit cards that use FICO 8, because you have good trade lines, good primary trade lines on the credit file. You done boost up the credit score. So now they're looking at this and seeing that you're actually managing your credit properly to give you more funding. Now, if you have any questions about building up your business credit, personal credit, getting personal credit funding, business credit funding, click the link in the description and schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.